All right, welcome everyone. Today we have David Nikzad, who is a co-founder of Defi Gold. As you guys know, I've been working with the project for quite some time. Know David now for probably like 4 or 5 months. We've been spending a lot of time together. It's probably someone I've grown really close with. We have great times together. We're building stuff together. And yeah, we just want to give you a little bit of insight as to what Defi Gold is, what Bitcoin memes are going to be like, why this space is going to continue to grow, and most importantly, how you can make money with Bitcoin memes, Bitcoin itself, and how you'll be able to trade and use runes and all this other ecosystems in one place.
So, Coach, let's get into it, brother.
Let's get into it, man.
Tell me.
Let's go for the Joe Rogan experience.
Yeah,
we're gonna go with the Coach K
Rogan
experience. There we go, the Coach K experience. All right.
You give me. So, where's the crypto space going? Why DeFi Gold? Where is it going? What's going to happen?
Well, I think, and we talked about this in Dubai, I think Bitcoin is the ecosystem. I think the next big ecosystem and the only big ecosystem is Bitcoin. And I'm not a maxi per se, but the longer you stay in crypto, the more of a maxi you become.
Can I point this out, which you already know? DeFi.Gold. Would you say Bitcoin is the gold standard?
I would.
Okay.
I would say that Bitcoin always is the gold standard. Without Bitcoin, we don't have any of the other coins in the first place. I think that the original OGs that we know always wanted more with Bitcoin. They didn't want us to just do Bitcoin. They wanted us to do a store of value, sure, but that wasn't the original idea. The original idea was money, but everyone wanted to build something on it, which now we have DeFi. Now we have financial products. We have lots of things. And I think into the future, meme coins and other products built directly on top of it could be, if not will be, the future. I'm not saying other layer ones and stuff will do poorly. I think that a lot of them are actually not going to be here in 5 years.
I agree with you.
I think most of the stuff, these L2s and L1s, we're already kind of slowly seeing them not be as important because there's too many of them. The fragmentation has been too big, yet Bitcoin still holds more than 50% of the entire market cap of all of crypto. So that's going to be here. There's a lot of money there. There's a lot of people who have money that made money in Bitcoin that are going to be happy to finally use their Bitcoin for something other than just storing it as value.
Can I tell you, my first investment into Bitcoin was based on cannabis. Were we early? Did we get shut down by 3-letter government agencies? But Serica Pay was a YC company. And I remember when Tarek came to me about the idea, and he's talking about using Bitcoin to buy cannabis, because at that time you couldn't use credit cards to buy cannabis.
Yep.
So at the end of the day, and again, I hate to come back to this because people are like, what is the parallel? But let's be candid here. Some of the biggest things that happened with crypto were based on Silk Road.
Yeah.
They were based on, again, the outlook of drugs and other things today are very, very different.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. I mean, psychedelics were outlawed everywhere. Everyone thought you were insane or going to go through some crazy epiphany or something as bad is going to happen because of drugs. And I think that I personally don't think drugs are a bad thing. I think drugs are sometimes if you abuse them, like anything, if you take too many Tylenols, it's not a good thing either. But
so let me throw this out there. You got this product, Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Everybody's using it. Everybody's paying in sats now. We have this DeFi product. And all of a sudden now you can buy all your cannabis, your psychedelics. You can buy anything you want. It's a global money thing. Everything is on the blockchain. Talking like 5 or 10 years from now. And we have full transparency with our food, our medicines, everything.
Yep. I mean, supply chain, Bitcoin could do that. It can do
real world assets.
It can do everything, right? And will Ethereum still be around? Yeah, probably. I think most, one of my friends was telling me that in every industry, there's always like a top 3 by the end of when they actually find their product market fit. There's 3 companies that own most of the media companies. There's 3 companies that own most of there's Apple, Microsoft, et cetera. So there's like 3 big in every industry. I think in crypto, we'll see 3 bigger ones, and there'll be some other stuff, penny stock, some smaller stuff, but like the really, really big stuff in our industry could probably come down to 3. And so with Bitcoin, definitely everyone knows it's not a dinosaur. Everyone always tries to say there'll be something that's going to be a new Bitcoin, the Bitcoin's cash, the Bitcoin this. It's all bullcrap. Bitcoin is Bitcoin. It's not going anywhere. Yeah, will they ever change it? We don't know. But the reality is that I'd rather be in a year from now on DeFi Gold buying memes than trying to always buy them on every other chain.
I agree with you.
I think that all of us have money in Bitcoin. I think most of the OGs hold Bitcoin, and I think everyone will actually, maybe not everybody, there'll be some that will just rather
Tell me about Bitcoin and DeFi Gold 10 years from now. What does that look like?
It could be the one of the biggest exchanges is Bitcoin only, right? Maybe we add other stuff later, but
What does Bitcoin look like globally?
I mean, in 10 years from now, I could see it at like $250,000 to $500,000. I don't know if $1 million is going to be realistic, but it all depends on what happens with the.
Am I going to be able to buy my cannabis with Bitcoin?
You already can buy your cannabis.
Am I going to be able to do it globally?
I mean, as long as cannabis is legal, I'm sure. So, yeah, I'm sure. I mean, Thailand's trying to make it illegal.
Am I going to be able to do it in the U.S. where I can't use crypto to buy cannabis today? You showed me something today, which I have also. We both have credit cards that we can load crypto into. We're using those credit cards to buy cannabis in Thailand. And crypto with these on-ramps and off-ramps, as critical mass happens, and everybody now is using these credit cards where you can load crypto on, it critical mass hits.
Yep. And we won't need more and more store value companies, right? Like, I think now it's getting to a point where we have almost everything. And at the end of this cycle, this is why everyone keeps saying this is probably going to be the last big crazy boom cycle. The third wave is always the biggest one.
Always.
So, the fourth wave comes down, the fifth wave goes up a little bit higher. So that's why I think in like the next cycle, we could hit like 250, 500. Maybe we'll do it sooner, but I always like to underpromise and overdeliver.
Yeah.
That's a much better way of doing business. So if you guys want to know about business, that's a great one to keep in mind. But yeah, Bitcoin will be much bigger. A lot of the altcoins are going to die, and I think this time they're going to die at a disproportional rate than the last cycle, because last cycle people were still hopeful that these new ideas, and most of them were, some of them, not all of them, but were good ideas. NFTs came out last cycle. Those are going to probably be very prevalent still in the next cycle as well. But Bitcoin is going to have NFTs. Bitcoin has ordinals.
Yeah.
Bitcoin has runes. Bitcoin likely will have even better protocols built on Bitcoin specifically. And as you have an exchange, being one of the first Bitcoin exchanges that uses RGBs and runes and ordinals and all the wallets connect directly to it, and it's an easy UI UX, and you come on that and it turns into the next Binance, right? Like, Binance is huge, but if you're looking at like what's the future of crypto, well, I think this could be absolutely massive, and everyone in the world that has money has Bitcoin. Everyone has some, and if you don't, you're making a gigantic mistake. Yeah. Regardless if the other stuff will gain more, by the time the next cycle ends, you'll make more money by holding Bitcoin than if you held anything else. It'll be the best.
Yeah, absolutely. And anybody that's posting they're selling all their Bitcoin for Ethereum, it's some bullshit.
Like, bullshit. I mean, yeah, if you want to do that in the short term, if you
Da Vinci.
Yeah, Da Vinci. Never he did that?
That's what he said today.
Oh my God.
He's selling
this
all.
guy bought Bitcoin 10 years ago and he's selling it for okay. There's a lot of people say Ethereum will flip Bitcoin. I don't think so. I think so. It will always be number two. And if it just because people say, well, ETH, you can do things now, you can do those things on Bitcoin.
Totally.
So the whole use case of why ETH was going to be huge is because everyone who wanted what ETH does on Bitcoin wasn't letting that happen on Bitcoin. Now it's kind of like, well, you can do that on Bitcoin, and as long as we keep the fees not exorbitant on BTC, why would you use Ethereum to do a lot of this stuff? Which is why a lot of people are using Solana, because it's so cheap. So if you look at that, like CZ was right. Like, the best fees, the cheapest prices is what's always going to bring the new customers, because they want to save money. They want to save time. They want to save effort, right? So if you have an easy exchange to use where they can actually use their Bitcoin, where it's simple for the projects to list, where it's not costing $1 million to list on the exchange and everyone being greedy, then, and also where it's not centralized and where like everyone's holding your crypto for you and you're basically getting wrecked because of it, I think those are the use cases for DeFi Gold. And
boom,
it's simple, is it, right? Like, boom, like,
can we jump into one of the Pump.Fun?
Yeah.
Which Shadan sent me a couple weeks ago.
Pumping is fun.
And I will tell you, Shadan, it's very difficult for Shadan to like get excited, but like he loves chain flip. And he sent this to me. You know, he's now what I would say refining the model of DeFi of DeFi.Gold with what he's seen with Pump.Fun. Can you give us a little, like, you're very technical, LBP and bonding curves. What is making Pump.Fun because back like when we were telling people about LBPs and bonding curves 4 weeks ago, nobody knew what we were talking about.
Well, they didn't use Ford Foundry. Like, they didn't understand that model, right? It's like basically as people buy in, the demand is there, so the price goes up.
Yeah.
You put all the tokens in a pool that you're going to sell, and then like as people buy them, they're cheaper, obviously, when no one wants to buy them. Same as if you go to a warehouse full of all this shit. Like, basically, let's put it this really simple for retail to understand this. You go to a warehouse and it's booming with all this stuff and no one's buying it. Well, obviously, then it goes on sale and gets on clearance, and then it goes down and down and down in value. So at a bonding curve, at that point, where no one's actually buying it, the warehouse completely full, well, it doesn't really matter to anyone. So, like, yeah, it's going to be very cheap to buy that. But if you're the first one to buy it, well, you're in a better advantage because you're the first buy, and as other people do want to buy stuff in the warehouse and it gets depleted. Think of new iPhones when they come out. There's not enough. Everyone wants one. Well, that makes the price go up, and that's how the bonding curve works, right? And so once it's a critical mass, and all the tokens are sold, then it's like, okay, it takes that and goes on Radium and lists your token for you. And the coolest thing about Pump.Fun is you don't have to know anything. You literally can take a photo from Mid-Journey that you create an AI, have a funny idea, make a Telegram, make a Twitter, make a website, literally launch this like the same day that you do all that stuff, because you can do this with AI in one day. And then you just get a bunch of your friends that actually believe they should empty the warehouse. Everyone buys a little bit of the supply, and then it launches. And if the people that watch this and see the meme coin, if you have maybe some really good videos or like people that understand how to market properly, all of a sudden you get a large group of people buying these meme coins. And that's what drives the value, is that everyone wants something. The warehouse, let's say, has only 1,000 iPhones. Right. And as you sell those iPhones out of that warehouse, when you get back like down to like 100 out of 1,000, those 100 become a lot more valuable because everyone wants, and there's only 100.
And that's the bonding curve.
And that's the bonding curve. Yeah. Right. And then also after the bonding curve is done, then it launches onto the exchange, and a bonding curve just continues. So most people don't understand the bonding curve. This much tokens you're selling, when it hits this much and this much SOL, it will instantly go, and let's say it's 100 SOL. When it's 100 SOL of buys, all the tokens are gone. And then it launches the token on exchange.
And I'm so grateful of Pump.Fun, because 4 weeks ago when we were explaining DeFi.Gold, nobody knew what a bonding curve was. So now everybody, so thankfully we're a little bit ahead of the curve.
Yeah, I mean, Pump.Fun's got really good use case for the fact that, like, I don't need to know how to do very much. I can launch a token that's a meme. It's going to be fun if I have the right people involved, if I market it properly, get the right KOLs, and do all the stuff that every good real project does.
So now we do it on Runes.
Yeah, then you can do it on Runes. And
now we got Bitcoin behind us.
And the really cool thing that I like the most about that is, if I launch a token, I raise a bunch of money first, then I sell a bunch of the supply, and then I take some of that supply and put it in on the exchange, right? And then people can buy it. That's not really as fair as Pump.Fun. The reason why everyone gets behind it is because anyone could have bought that the same time that it launched. Everyone can only buy to this point.
Yep.
And once that point's done, it goes on to a real exchange, and then whoever's buying it's pushing the price up, because that's how this works.
I love it.
And there's no one who got a big ass bag, because on Pump.Fun, all the tokens are there. Even when you launch it yourself, you have to buy your own tokens, right? So if you can do as little as like 0.1 SOL or something like that, or even less than that, you can launch a token on there. So if you do that on Bitcoin, and you need to do all that stuff, right? And you have an LBP model, and you understand that it's going to get launched onto DeFi Gold, then you're probably going to do that on Bitcoin, not on Solana, because Solana centralized, it goes down some
$1 trillion market cap.
$1 trillion market cap. That means there's a lot of people.
What's the market cap on Solana?
Like
66 billion.
So yeah, like under 100 billion. Yeah.
Yeah, 66 billion, I think.
Yeah. So and it's centralized. It keeps going down.
Bitcoin is 13x, 15x that.
Yeah, and how many times has Solana gone down, and how many times has Bitcoin gone down?
We love Solana.
Yeah, we love Solana. Yeah, I'm a big holder of Solana. You know this as well as I do.
Totally.
But the point is like, there's not as many people who hold Solana in terms of the value of it versus Bitcoin. And if people start seeing Bitcoin memes take off, instead of it being like on Ethereum when there's a lot of money still, but like, if you know what Solana is 66 billion, so people are using their Solana, maybe some USDC. What happens if there's like 10 times the amount of money, and now there's meme coins launching and they're doing well? You're going to have a lot more money going.
You're getting me excited.
Yeah, is your dick getting hard? He's got a little chubby right here, like, hey, get down there, boy.
Medium.
But yeah, so that's kind of like how I see DeFi Gold. And I think that's a really good explanation for someone who doesn't understand Pump.Fun or DeFi Gold and what they're doing, right? And it's like, DeFi Gold being on a bonding curve means that, like, yeah, they're doing a private sale, but when you get to launch the token in the LBP, it's starting at the same price as the private sale.
Love it.
So it's quite fair for the user to
It's
hold
very
it.
fair.
And not this crazy FDV and low float. The float's going to be on the market. It's not going to be like held by everyone. 50% of it goes out day one. Then there's only 100% inflation ever, and that's only 2 months later. And then after that, there's no one pushing more tokens and devaluing your currency. So there's a huge opportunity. I think within that first 2 months, if meme coins pop off on DeFi Gold, it's going to pop off even harder too.
I'm super excited.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's all the reasons why it's great. I think that, it's coming soon. It's going to be freaking awesome. And, Ansem was a great person. If you're watching all of his stuff, he literally was talking about this on Lauren's podcast.
Love Ansem. Love Philip Lord.
Yeah, love Philip Lord. Good guy. Philip's great, man.